So we're going to use this morning this Excel worksheet, and we're going to do some basic financial ratio analysis using the financial statements of Advanced Technologies. These are income statements for the year ending December 31, 2020 and 2019. Okay, by way of review from your accounting class, what are the three basic, actually there are five, no? What are the financial statements that companies generate? Anyone, please? Ano ba yung mga financial statements natin? Okay. Thank you. So you have income statement, okay? And thank you, Marco, also from Kendrick, statement of financial position. Okay, thank you, Marco. Okay, so dalawa pa lang yun, no? You have your, okay, you have your, okay, let me use another worksheet here. You have your balance sheet, di ba? Okay, balance sheet. And another name for this is what you mentioned a while ago. This is the statement of financial position. So what does this financial statement tell us? Ano ba yung binibigay na information sa atin ng ano? Yeah, thank you. Statement of cash flows. Okay, correct. And statement of shareholders equity. Yes, that's correct. No? Okay, so let's first take a look at the balance sheet. Ano bang binibigay sa atin ng balance sheet? What does it tell us? State of the business. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Syra. Another definition, the balance sheet tells us of what, guys? Of the, diba, ito yung as stated there, financial position, okay? Financial position or financial standing. When, guys? At A, you can unmute yourself, guys. I would prefer that para hindi ko na binubuksan yung chat box. At any given time, Syra, yes, okay. Mas accurate, Syra, yung ano, no? At a specific point in time. So, Sophia and Patricia, thank you. So, tama, no? At a specific point in time. You're correct? At a specific point in time. So, that's why when you look at the balance sheet, nakalagay doon, as of, no? As at or as of. Or nakalagay lang December 31, 2021, no? Or as of December 31, 2021. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Nung mineasure nila yung mga assets, di ba ang laman ng ano ng balance sheet, guys? What we find in the balance sheet are your lolo ko tong, you have your assets, you have your liabilities, and your equity. So these are the three main components of your balance sheet, di ba? You have the resources owned by the company, and then that it tells us how the resources, how the assets have been financed, either by debt, inutang, or by infusion of capital by the owners, equity. Okay, so it tells us how much cash was there at that specific point in time. Diba? Usually calendar year yan, di ba? Aside from calendar year, ano pa pwedeng date ng balance sheet? Calendar year, or pwedeng ano, guys? Letter F?
Fiscal po, sir.
Correct, tama. Thank you, fiscal year. Ang fiscal year naman, any date other than December 31. Kasi may mga companies na they come up with their real yearly report, annual report, based on a fiscal year. So, kunyari, June 30 to July 1 to June 30. So, their FS, their balance sheet will be as of June 30, 20XX. No? Okay, so that's the first income statement. That's the first FS. Yung pangalawa, yung income statement. Ano yung income statement? It tells us about the, ano to? Ito yung results of the operations, di ba? Results of operations ng firm at what? At a specific what?
Period of time.
Okay, correct. It's a specific period of time. Yung isa, point in time. No? Ito naman, this is period of time. So, ang FS guys, usually pwedeng annually yan. Ibig sabihin yung period cover January 1 hanggang December 31. So, for the whole period, it's either monthly, for the whole month, pwedeng ang weekly. Okay, I've seen some do that, but usually it's annual. No? Okay, kung listed sa Philippine Stock Exchange, required talaga dapat na i-present nila yung annual nila, no? But some other companies would present even quarterly, no? Quarterly income statement. Okay, so we also have the cash flow statement as you mentioned. No? So ano yung pinapakita sa atin ng cash flow statement? What does this tell us? No? Cash flow statement gives us the...
Sir, it tells us where the cash goes, like
Okay,
in the sense of operations, investing, and financing.
yes, correct. Very good, very good. So it tells us of the sources, no? Saan nanggaling? And also the uses, saan ginamit of the most liquid asset, no? One of the most important asset of cash. Okay, from operating, investing, and financing activities. Okay, so bine-break down natin yung activities ng corporation sa operating, investing, and financing. Later on, we're going to create the cash flow for advanced technologies. Okay, this is also at a specific period of time, guys. Cash flow statement, period of time din yan. No? Kasi tinitingnan natin ano ba yung pumasok at saka lumabas na cash from operating activities for the whole period, for the whole year, for example. Okay, then you also mentioned statement of changes in shareholders' equity. Okay, so guys, ang pinag-aaralan na natin dito, corporation, no? Shareholders, apostrophe S o S apostrophe? Ano, saan ko ilalagay yung apostrophe, guys?
After the S, sir.
After S. Oh, kasi maraming shareholders, no? Shareholders equity. Okay? So this tells us of the changes in shareholders equity, no? For a specific period of time din to. Okay? And lastly, meron din tayong tinatawag na yung notes to the financial statements. They are still considered as part of the notes to the financial statements. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat guys ng information dun sa income statement balance sheet. May ilalagay natin dun sa income statement itself. So usually nagkakaroon ng mga notation, no? Kunyari, accounts receivable, then note A. Tapos sa ilalim nun, ilalagay yung breakdown or information about the accounts receivable. Okay? So, kasama din yan guys. Importante din yung notes to the financial statements. So when you get the audited FS guys, expect na dapat may mga notes to the financial statements doon. You should also get that kasi makikita nyo doon, they really explain yung components ng balance sheet or income statement or cash flow na naka-note, no? All right. So that's a quick introduction guys, or review kasi nakuha niyo na naman yan. So let's go back here. We have this this is the income statement, 2-year income statement for the year ending, no? So take note, for the year ending, ibig sabihin yan, for the complete year. You have this income statement for 2020 and the income statement for 2021. And you find here thousands of pesos. So lahat to, guys, yung 945 na to, this is actually 945 million. Okay, you'll often see that in FS. Okay, all right. So here we have sales for 2020 and sales for 2021, 945 and 900. Then you have expenses, excluding depreciation and amortization. Okay, now my question is, bakit kaya sinesegregate tong depreciation and amortization? What's so special about them? Bakit lahat ng expenses, lahat ng operating expenses ima-minus, pero hiniwalay si depreciation at saka si amortization? What could be the reason why we singled out depreciation and amortization? Any guess?
Sir,
Yes?
because depreciation, wala tayong nilalabas na pera dun.
Okay, correct, no? So non-cash yan, ano? So kung sino to? Sorry, who's this?
This is Marco, sir. Marco Antonio.
Okay, Marco, thank you. So Marco, kung non-cash to, bakit siya sinesegregate?
Para, I don't know, as organizer, not sure.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Marco. The answer is, para naka-itemize siya, no? Later on kasi gagamitin natin to sa cash flows. Okay, para naka-single out na siya, and we immediately know this item will be needed when we create our statement of cash flows. So that's why oftentimes it's singled out, sineseparate siya. No? So when we subtract from sales all your expenses except depreciation and amortization, you have an item called EBITDA. Okay, question ko lang, Josh, na-meet nyo na ba ito sa accounting, yung EBITDA na to?
No po.
Okay, first time nyo na-meet, no? Okay, that's good, no? So, for the first time, guys, na-meet natin tong account, it's not an account, it's a measure, EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So, ibig sabihin nun, lahat ng expenses na deduct na from sales except for interest and taxes, hindi pa yon, depreciation and amortization, hindi pa rin na-deduct. So, we call it EBITDA. So, it's just, you solve it by subtracting from sales all the expenses excluding depreciation and amortization. Siyempre guys, hindi rin kasama dyan yung interest and taxes. Kasi these are financial expenses. So sa dulo na talaga sinasubtract yun. Okay? So we have here EBITDA, and then we subtract now yung depreciation and amortization, which in this case is 33,100. Ito naman noong 2019, 31,500. Okay, take note of this because gagamitin natin mamaya yan pag construct natin yung statement of cash flows. And so, after deducting depreciation and amortization from EBITDA, we now have EBIT. So, minus lang natin EBITDA less depreciation and amortization, you'll have what we call EBIT, no? Earnings before interest and taxes. Okay, and then we subtract the financing costs, interest expense. In this case, 10,470. You come up with EBT, earnings before tax, 88,730. Okay. Unfortunately, guys, hindi ko pala na ano to, no? Sorry, hindi ko to na change. Anyway, let's just maintain this. I should have changed the taxes kasi ang current level ngayon is 30%. But let's just assume, guys, na 40% siya. So 35. So how did we compute for this one? 35,492. Assuming the tax is 40%. Okay. Sorry, paki-mute na muna.
Sir,
Yes.
88,730 times 0.4.
Yes, correct. Thank you. So let's check 8,000 times 0.4. Okay, 35,492. Okay, na-validate natin na tama nga. No? So earnings before tax, 88,730, less tax of 40%, 35,492. We now have what we call net income after tax. Ito yung niyat natin. Okay? All right. Now, after niyat, guys, what do we do now? Ito na guys yung yung dividend decision ng company, no? In this case, it seems like wala masyadong business opportunities. Kaya out of the total 238, okay, na net income available 55 53 328, okay? Ang dinistribute as dividends is 43 300. Okay? Therefore, ang na-retain ang pino back to operations as retained earnings 9938 na lang. Okay? So this was your dividend payout ratio. Of course, 43,300 divided by 53,328. So let's pakita lang natin yun. So it's equal to this one divided by, okay, so 81% yung naging ano niya, no? Dividend payout ratio. On the other hand, yung retention rate niya, retention rate or rate of retention. So it's around 100% minus 81.33, no? So that's around 8.60 something. Okay, 8.60 something. Ay, sorry, 18.60 something. Okay, so let's computing ko na nga lang din. Is equal to this divided by this, or 1 minus this one. It will give us the same answer. Kahit 1 decimal place. Okay? So this was your dividend payout ratio. This was your retention rate. Okay, so that's our basic financial income statement. So let's now go to our balance sheet. Okay, our balance sheet, where we know that it consists of your assets and your liabilities plus equity. So in 2020, okay, yung assets ni Advanced Technologies, okay, you have cash and cash equivalents, 47,250, short-term investments, 3,800, accounts receivable, 283,500. Okay, yung binanggit ko kanina, guys, for full disclosure, nagkakaroon ng notes dito, no? Kunyari, note A. Tapos sa ilalim, dinidescribe ano yung breakdown ng receivables na yan. Okay, then inventories, pwede rin may breakdown to. So the sum of these four, you have your total current assets. Anong wala dito, guys, sa current assets natin? What type of current assets does the firm not have? Anyone? Di ba, 5 yung current assets, di ba? You have cash and cash equivalents, short-term investments or marketable securities. You have receivables, inventories, and the last one, guys. Ano yung last one? Part of your current assets. Okay, may sumagot. Merchandise. Okay, thank you, Erin. Prepaid expenses. Okay, but Marco, thank you for the answer. Yung merchandise, that should be part of your inventory, no? So, yung sa ano natin, yung dito, yung current assets, sulat ko nga yun. So, ang composition ng current assets natin, no? Cash and cash equivalents. You have short-term investments or you have marketable securities. No? Then you have receivables. Then you have inventory. Okay, yung inventory, di ba, tatlong klase yan, di ba? Ano yung tatlong klase inventories, guys? Ano yung 3 types ng inventories? In particular for a manufacturing firm. No? Yung manufacturing firm lang nagkakaroon ng ganito. You may unmute yourself, guys. You have what? You have RM, di ba? WIP and finished goods. We call this, ano mga to, guys? What's RM?
Raw materials po.
Okay, raw materials. Then you have, what's this? What's WIP? Acknowledge natin.
Work in progress po.
Correct. Work in process, no? Okay, work in progress, work in process. Thank you, Sophia. Okay. Work in process, usually that's your name, or work in progress din. And then FG is your finished goods. So, tatlo yun, no? Pag manufacturing. Pero pag ano lang, pag service lang, kasi hindi na, unless they are selling also goods that they acquire for eventual selling, okay, magkakaroon ng ano ng inventory, no? And then you have prepayment sa dulo. Prepaid rent, ito yung advance payment na ginawa ng company. Okay? They have already paid for this, but they have not used that service. No? Prepayments. Kunyari, prepaid rent, a prepaid insurance. The company pays in advance to insure their goods for the whole year, kunyari. No? So those are our prepayments. All right, so ito yung current assets natin, no? So we have here total current assets. In the case of advanced technologies, cash and cash equivalents, you have short-term investments or marketable securities. Okay, ito guys yung mga treasury bills, no? Marketable securities. Naalala nyo, pinag-usapan natin securities. Okay? Examples of these are treasury bills, even commercial papers, no? Marketable securities yun. And then you have your receivables, inventory. Ang total current asset is 476,300. Okay? Then after that, guys, you have your fixed assets. No? Okay, before we go there, guys, ano nga natin, sulat ko nga dito, ano ba yung laman ng ano natin ng assets, no? So generally, guys, ano yung laman ng assets natin?
Cash,
Cash, okay, let's generalize it. Cash will be part of what?
current,
Okay, sige, thank you. You're correct, no? So una, current assets muna, no? So si current assets, 5 yan, di ba? Yung sinabi na natin. Ito yung cash and cash equivalents. Andito na yung marketable securities. Andito na yung receivables. Andito yung inventory. Andito yung prepayments. Okay? Next, yun ang current assets natin. So ito yung assets natin. So first you have your current assets, then okay, ano yung susunod? If you take a look at the balance sheet, 'di ba, may ano yan, may order yan. Hindi yan based on hindi yan alphabetical, no? It's based on liquidity. Kung ano yung pinaka-ano muna, kung ano yung madaling i-convert into cash. Okay? So current assets muna, then after current assets, ano yung susunod? 5 yung general 5 yung general components niya. Okay? Ano yung pangalawa? Anyone?
non-current assets,
Okay, non-current assets or ano
property,
yung non-current assets natin?
property, plant, and equipment,
Okay, saan natin ilalagay yun? I-erase ko lang to. So you have your current assets and of course, isa yung non-current assets natin. Pero yung non-current assets, guys, ano yung composition niya? So, na-mention, who's this?
Syra po,
Syra, thank you. You're correct, no? PPE, property, plant, and equipment. Okay, or ito yung fixed assets natin. Ano pa? What else, guys? Anything more?
Long-term investments.
Okay, long-term investments dito, no? Long-term investments. Usually mga securities din to, para long-term siya. No? Okay. Kunyari, investment in bonds. Investment in bonds, kunyari 10-year yung tenor, so hindi yan papasok dito sa marketable securities. Kasi ang marketable securities lang, guys, these are assets, these are securities that are traded in usually the money markets. No? Ito naman sa capital markets to. Okay, so long-term investments. Okay? So you're correct, no? Long-term investments, tapos property, plant, and equipment. Ano pa?
Accumulated amortization.
Accumulated amortization, it's not an asset, it's a contra asset, no?
Intangible assets.
Yun, okay. So yung accumulated amortization, contra asset siya ng intangibles, no? So these are intangible assets. Okay, intangible assets, as the name suggests, yung hindi siya nahahawakan, no? An example of this, ano kaya mga example nito?
Sir, intellectual property po.
Correct, no? O goodwill, no? Goodwill, intellectual property rights, no? Or copyrights, brands. So these are what we call intangible assets. Okay? And lastly, guys, ano yung huli? Okay, check ko lang yung chat. Okay, thank you, Kendrick. Yeah, that's correct. No? Intellectual property. So these are the intangible assets. And lastly, ano yung huli? Yung AOA. Okay? These are other assets. Okay? Other assets. No? Yung hindi pwede natin example yan, deferred charges, but we're not going to go there. No? Okay, so in a nutshell, guys, this is the structure of your balance sheet. Okay, so be aware of this kasi baka pag yung FS na gagamitin nyo, ganito yung composition niya. No? So aware tayo, ha? Alam natin na yung assets natin, ito yung composition niya. It's arranged according to liquidity. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, itong si Advanced Technologies, mas simple lang yung ano niya, yung FS niya. Okay, then you have here net fixed assets. Okay, ano yung net fixed assets, guys? Balikan ko tayo dito, ha? Net fixed assets. I'm going to send this, what's good about this is, masisave ko tong, masisave ko tong notes natin dito, which I can send to you. Okay, let's take a look at PPE or fixed assets. Sandali, ha? Hindi muna tayo. PPE. How do we present PPE, guys?
The sum.
Okay, all right. Yung cost niya, no? PPE, okay, the sum or yung total at cost. Okay, and usually may nakalagay dyan na note A, kunyari. You're correct, yung sum niya, ang ibig sabihin nun, kasi usually iba-iba yung ano, di ba? Sorry guys, ha? Sulat sa note. Let me ayusin ko yung sulat. Okay, note A. Kunyari guys, 20 na fixed assets, 20 na PPE. Hindi sinusulat lahat dito yan sa balance sheet. Linalagay muna yung total, no? Yung total, tapos in-note na lang yan. Okay, kasi otherwise guys, masyadong hahaba yung balance sheet. Kaya ito ngayon yung gamit ng notes to the financial statements. So parang ano lang siya, parang ilalagay sa baba, note A, tapos nakalagay din yung breakdown, ano yung mga assets na yon na PPE. Okay, and then, anong ginagawa dito guys? What do we do with this one? Anyone?
So you deduct depreciation.
Yes, correct, no? Correct. Thank you. Anong dinadidak? Anong klase? Less what? Is it depreciation?
Accumulated depreciation.
Yes, it's called accumulated depreciation. Yung depreciation, guys, at saka accumulated depreciation, magkaiba yan, di ba? Quick review of your accounting. And depreciation is an expense. And it does not go to your balance sheet. It's a temporary account. Doon siya pupunta sa income statement. Si accumulated depreciation, I'm sure you learned this. Anong tawag sa kanya? It's a contra asset account. Bakit contra asset? Kasi lagi siyang kakambalyan ng ng asset nyo, no? So accumulated depreciation, tapos nakalagay ba yan? PPE, no? Okay? And then what do you have here? Pag linas na natin, anong na meron natin? You have net PPE. Okay? So oftentimes you'll see this, itong tatlong to, you'll see this in your balance sheet. Okay, tapos minsan yung net PPE na lang. But in all instances, guys, kailangan naka-note yan. Ha? Kailangan naka-explain sa baba yung breakdown kung maraming fixed assets, no? Kung maraming PPE. Okay, in our case now, ang pinakita lang, 'di ba, yung net fixed assets lang. So hindi sa atin pinakita yung breakdown, hindi pinakita yung at cost, yung fixed asset at cost, and then hindi din pinakita yung accumulated depreciation. What's shown is only the net fixed assets. But again, guys, be aware that this came from fixed assets less accumulated depreciation, and then we have here the net fixed assets. Okay? Any questions so far, guys? Pause muna ako. Clear naman so far yung up to the net fixed assets.
Clear.
Okay, thank you. The rest? Okay, salamat Marco ha. Salamat. Okay. Thank you, Kyla. Okay, thank you for your feedback. All right, so let's continue. So wala naman si advance, wala siyang long-term investment, wala siyang intangible assets, wala siyang other assets. So 2 main assets lang siya, no? 2 of the 5. Sabi natin, di ba, ang 5 main classifications ng assets natin. Current assets, according to order, guys, current assets, long-term investments, property, plant, and equipment, intangible assets, and other assets. Okay? So yung 5 yun. Dito, dadalawa lang yung nakikita natin. Naka-breakdown dito yung current assets. Okay? Baka may question. Yeah, thank you, Kyla. Thank you. So may na-disconnect daw si Julia. It's okay, guys. Naintindihan ko yan na ma-disconnect because of interconnectivity. Okay, pero pag once na balik na lang, no? Okay, so thank you, Kyla, for informing me about that. All right, and also thank you thank you, Julian, well for informing me. I appreciate the openness, no? Okay, so punta na tayo, guys, sa total assets natin for 2020, 807. Okay, may question dito. Syra, na lang. Paki-chat sa buong class.
Okay pa.
Sige. Okay, so this is a very important question ni Syra.
Sir, can I just say it po?
Sige, better.
Ayaw niyo po mag-copy eh.
Sige, okay lang, sige.
How do we get the common dividends po?
Oo.
Like, po formula.
Okay. Now, yung common dividends, guys, di ba, financing decision yan. So, pinag-aaralan niya ng finance department with the other managers, of course. And they will come up with a decision. Tapos, broadcast yan sa stockholders. So, wala siyang formula, no? It really depends, pinag-aaralan nila yung market. May opportunities ba sa market ngayon? Di ba naalala niyo yung quiz natin, yung exercise natin? Pag maganda yung business environment, maraming opportunities, they will kind of hold back on issuing dividends siguro i-regulate nila mas konti kasi mas may magandang business opportunities. Pag wala naman siguro, then mag-aano sila, mag-add up. There's no magic formula for that. No? It's a decision. It's a decision that management has to make, of course, with the input of finance. No? So yun ang ginagawa nila. So except guys kung kung preferred shareholder ka, kasi ang preferred shareholder, ang nature niyan parang quasi-bond, no? Pag preferred shareholder ka, meron kang fixed na na quote unquote dividend. Ngari 10%. So every may mga schedule yan na nakaka-receive ka ng dividends na 10%. Okay? But we're talking here of common shareholders. So medyo magkaiba, guys, yung dividend distribution for preferred shareholders at saka common shareholders. Okay? Syra, did that answer your question?
Yes po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question. All right. So ang total assets ni Advanced Technology is 807,050. Pag tingnan natin guys sa baba, no? 807,050 din dapat yung liabilities and equity natin. Okay, so moving down guys, and so we take note guys that total assets increased, no, between 2019 and 2020. Okay. Sa liabilities and equity naman, meron tayong total current liabilities at saka meron tayong long-term debt. And then we have the common stock, okay? And then the retained earnings. Okay, so ito yung basic na laman ng ng corporation, no, na capital. Unlike pag single proprietorship na yung tao lang kunyari Bob, capital, no? Iisa lang. Pag partnership naman, more than one. Okay? A, capital, B, capital, C, capital, D, capital. Pag common stock, ownership is divided into shares of stock. So we have this account, common stock, and then retained earnings. So yung sum ng dalawang to is what we call your total common equity. Liabilities natin, we have total current liability at saka long term. So that's your total liabilities. Okay, so accounts payable, accruals. Ano yung accruals, guys? By the way, what's another name for accounts payable? Letter T. These are your letter T, guys. Trade payables, no? These are these are short-term, parang short-term debt siya na provided by suppliers, yung those companies that the company is engaged in. Okay, so usually may 30 days, depende sa sa relationship nila with the supplier. Okay, accounts payable, then accruals. Ano yung accruals? What do you recall about accruals? Anyone? Ano yung na-recall nyo about accruals? Accruals are expenses that are already incurred pero hindi pa nabayaran. Okay? Kunyari, yung sa kuryente, guys. Diba? Yung kuryente, guys, matatanggap natin yung bill at the end of a particular period. Nagamit na yung kuryente yon. Okay? Pero hindi pa nababayaran ng company, no? So that's what we call accrued, no? Accrued expense siya. Nagamit na pero hindi pa nabayaran. Opposite siya nung sa prepayments, no? Prepayments kasi nabayaran na pero hindi pa nagamit. Accruals naman nagamit na pero hindi pa nabayaran. Okay? Notes payable, guys. Mga IOU to, utang din to, pero may may interest. So that's the difference between accounts payable and notes payable. Si accounts payable usually walang walang IOU din yan, utang, pero wala siyang non-interest bearing. Si notes payable, okay, kaya siya ang tawag notes kasi guys, it's parang security siya, nakasulat yan. Tapos naka-indicate yung kung ano yung interest na babayaran. Okay? So total current liabilities, then you have long-term debt. Okay, so long-term debt, sabi natin kapag more than 1 year, of course, interest-bearing yan. Okay. And then you have, sum up natin tong total current liabilities at saka long-term debt, you therefore have total liabilities. So this is the liability side. And then we have the equity side, common stock, and then retained earnings. So the total of that is your total common equity. This plus this is your total common equity. And then i-add natin si liabilities at saka si equity. You now have your total liabilities and equity. Okay, and it should equal your total assets. Okay, pause muna tayo. Any questions, guys?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sige.
Saan po napunta yung owner capital account?
Sorry.
The owner capital account.
Dito siya, no? Common stock. Dito
Oh,
siya.
okay. Thank
So,
you, sir.
kunyari, magko-contribute ka ng you contribute equity to the company, you'll be issued shares of stock. Ang tawag doon common stock. Okay? So unlike pag sole proprietorship kasi, magpapasok ko ng pera, ang tawag doon sa di ba? Kunyari ako Bob, then capital. Sa corporation, you call that account as common stock. Okay, so yung common stock, the accumulated yung accumulated ng lahat ng mga contributions ng shareholders, no? Okay? May accounting ba kayo ngayon, guys? This term?
Yes.
Ano yung dinidiscuss nyo? Is it corporation accounting or partnership?
Merchandising po.
Sorry?
Merchandising.
Merchandising, pero anong form ng business siya? Sole proprietorship. Sole lang.
Opo.
Okay. So, sige. Let accounting take care of the yung journalization. Tayo, guys, ang added learning sa atin nito, ang focus natin is a corporation, no? Kasi kaya natin piniling corporation, guys. Kasi hindi tayo makakuha ng FS ng isang partnership lang o ng sole proprietorship. Mahirapan tayo. Unlike kung corporation, guys, which is the really, ito yung pinaka dominant na form of business, madali tayo makakuha ng FS. That's the reason why At saka maganda rin, may exposure na kayo sa corporation accounting. So yung nakikita nyo yung capital sa sole proprietorship or several owners sa partnership, ito yon, common stock ang nun. Common stock ang pangalan, no? Okay. Alright. So thank you for that question. Okay, yung retained earnings naman, ito yung na-accumulate na profits over time. Ang tawag sa kanya, retained earnings. Alright, then we have total common equity, total. So sabi nga natin, magkapareho yung dapat they should be. Kasi that's the fundamental basic accounting equation. Assets is equal to liabilities plus equity. Okay. Then this one, guys, we will have to change this. Dapat to be consistent, dapat 40% tayo. Okay? Kindly change it na lang. Sorry for this. Kasi 40% na yung sa taas eh. Okay, baka magka-problema tayo dun sa sa FS nito pag binago natin. Okay, the first thing that we need to do on our own is construct the statement of cash flows and the statement of retained earnings. Let's start with the statement of cash flows. Realistically, we have mga we have mga 40 something minutes. Baka hindi natin tumatapos yung statement of cash flows, but let's see kung saan tayo matatapos. Okay, so sabi natin, guys, ang statement of cash flows is a statement which tells us the sources and the uses of cash. So, tingnan nyo, guys, balikan ko to sources and uses of cash. Kung saan nanggaling, at saka ito, sources, at saka kung saan ginamit, no? Sources and uses of cash from operating, investing, and financing activities. Okay, the best way, guys, to create your statement of cash flows is to come up with a template. So ito yung template natin. Lalagay natin siya under operating, investing, and financing. Okay, I'll teach you how to do this. Okay. So dito na tayo, no? Okay, first question, what financial statements are needed to construct your statement of cash flows for 2020? Yun ang unang dapat natin tanungin, no? So magka-create tayo ng financial statement, ng cash flow statement for 2020. Ano dapat muna yung mga FS na meron natin? What FS do we need so that we can construct the statement of cash flow for 2020? Anyone?
Income statement,
Okay. Income statement,
statement of changes in equity,
statement of changes in equity,
statement of financial position,
statement of financial position,
notes to statement of financial position.
notes. Ay, yung tatlo din, yung apat, no? Okay.
Opo.
Okay, correct. Partly correct, but we have to clarify that, no? Sige, i-clarify ko guys, ha. Ang mga kailangan natin yung balance sheet ng 2020, no? Tapos income statement ng 2020. At saka guys, lastly, ang kailangan natin yung balance sheet ng 2019. Okay? Plus of course, pwede, baka kailangan natin yung notes, no? Pwede, no? Okay, but ito yung tatlong basic, ito yung tatlong pinaka-importanteng statements na kailangan natin. Assuming na kompleto yung So you need the balance sheet and the income statement for the current year, and you need the balance sheet of the previous year. Okay? So yun ang mga pinakakailangan natin. Balance sheet ng current year, balance sheet ng previous year, at saka income statement ng current year. Without those guys, you cannot construct your statement of cash flows. Okay. So do we have those guys? Meron ba tayong balance sheet ng 2020? Meron, no? Balance sheet ng 2019. Meron din. Income statement ng 2020. Meron. So kompleto guys, kompleto tayo. Therefore, we can now construct our statement of cash flows. Okay, so let's proceed to do that. So, ang ginagawa natin sa statement of cash flows natin, we're investigating what happened to cash. Cash in 2020 was 47,250. Cash in 2019 was 45 million actually, no? But let me just read that as 45,000. But alam natin guys, in thousands yan, so 45 million yan. Okay, what happened to cash? Did cash increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Yes, correct. No, it increased. By how much? Well, we just get the difference. No? So cash increased by 2,250. Ito yung investigahan natin, guys. So we take a look at the operating activities, investing financial activities, Pag i-sum up natin lahat yan, dapat makikita natin na yung net increase in cash should be 2,250. Pag hindi natin napalabas to, mali yung statement of cash flows natin. Okay, so yun ang challenge natin, guys, no? We need to show that indeed cash increased by 2,250 by looking at it, dissecting it, looking at it through a microscope, and segregating the activities into operating, investing, and financing. Okay? Clear so far, guys? Hello? Clear so far?
Yes po. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, sige, punta na tayo ha. So, remember, ang kailangan natin yung income statement ng 2020 at saka balance sheet 2020, balance sheet 2019. Okay, so let's start with the, ito yung template natin. Ang gagawin natin, titingnan natin yung mga income statement, balance sheet natin, tapos i-classify natin yung mga activities na yun as operating, investing, and financing. Tapos titingnan natin kung anong effect ba niya sa cash. Will cash increase or will cash decrease? Okay, so let's start first with ang unang ipipick up natin guys, yung net income after tax. Diyan tayo lagi nagsisimula, no? Net income after tax, where will we get this? Where will we get this guys? From?
Income statement.
Yun, income statement. Kaya natin kailangan yung income statement guys. Income statement ng 2020. Okay? We actually don't need the income statement for 2019. We will need the income statement for 2019 if we're going to create a cash flow statement for 2019. No? Since we're only required to do cash flow for 2020, ang kailangan lang natin, net income after tax, income statement for 2020. So let's get this, guys. Okay, is equal to, ilink ko lang ha. Ayan. Okay? And that forms part of operating. Okay? So si net income after tax, lahat yan, mga sales, expenses, lahat yan, part of operating yan. Kasi yun naman ang operations ng company. Okay? Clear so far, guys?
Yes po.
Okay. Now, take note, guys, yung net income after tax, ito, 53,238, hindi naman cash yan eh. 53,238 does not mean ang profit nila ay cash na 53,238. Bakit? Kasi guys, when you construct your income statement, may mga non-cash expenses o non-cash revenues na pinasok diyan. Okay? There are items there that are non-cash na pinasok natin. Either inad natin non-cash revenues or sinubtract natin non-cash expenses. So in order to convert your non-cash net income after tax to cash, kailangan i-adjust natin 'yan. Okay. Let's take a look at our income statement, no? Sales, expenses. Ano yung non-cash dito? May non-cash revenues ba dito? May sinabi ba dito na nag-earn sila na non-cash naman? Okay, wala, no? Wala tayong non-cash revenues. Okay, we don't have non-cash revenues. Pero may non-cash expenses ba tayo? Do we have non-cash expenses? Okay,
Yes.
andali ah. Okay, thank you. Pero kung may non-cash revenues, guys, ano gagawin natin doon? Example lang. But this, hindi usually nangyayari yan, no? Kung may non-cash revenues, anong gagawin natin? Isa-subtract natin yan. Diba? Kasi pinasok natin sa revenues yan eh, i-reverse natin. So dapat tanggalin natin yan. Yung ano naman, non-cash expense, ano ba ginawa natin dyan sa income statement? Dinagdag ba yan o binawas? Non-cash expense, guys. Dinagdag ba siya o binawas siya?
Binawas po.
Binawas. So how do we reverse that? How do we reverse that? Pag binawas natin, para ma-reverse, idadagdag natin. No? Clear, guys? So ano yun? Ano yung non-cash expense dito? Okay, thank you, Sophia, for informing me na disconnect daw siya. Salamat ha. Wait. Nasagot ko na po itong question ni Syra. Okay, guys. How? Ano muna, guys? Ano muna yung non-cash expenses natin dito? Na pinasok, guys, pinasok natin sa income statement na non-cash siya. May nakita ba kayong item dito sa income statement natin? Non-cash siya, guys? I think nasagot niyo na kanina yan, guys. What is it, guys, in the income statement that is non-cash? Any volunteer? I-unmute nyo lang yung sarili nyo. Ilang lines lang yan, guys. Oh? Taxes, syempre, cash yan. Interest, cash din yan. So, natitira lang tayo, isa na lang.
Depreciation.
Yes, correct. Depreciation and amortization, okay? Depreciation and, shortcut ko na lang ha. And amortization, okay. Okay, we have here depreciation and amortization. Depreciation and amortization, guys, are non-cash expense. Okay? So, that's why your net income after tax is non-cash kasi nga may mga binawas tayo dyan na hindi naman cash. So, what we need to do is to add it back. No? Okay, in-add back na. Okay, questions so far, guys?
None po.
Okay, good. Okay, that takes care of the use of the income statement ngayon, no? Pero mamaya gagamitin pa natin siya kung aabot tayo dun sa point na yan. Okay, so let's go now to the other parts, yung operating, investing, financing na other transactions. Saan natin kukunin yon? Doon natin kukunin sa balance sheet ng 2020 at saka 2019. Okay, so we'll go through this, isa-isahin natin to, no? syempre hindi natin isasama si cash. Kasi ito na yung ini-investigate natin eh. So let's start with short-term investment. Okay. Short-term investment, saan papasok yan? Ano nangyari? Nung 2019, short-term investment is 3.6. Okay? Tapos 2020 naging 3.8 siya. How much was the increase? How much was the increase? Guys, how much was the increase? Come on. Please tayo, no? 3.6 naging 3.8. So, ilan yung in-increase? Hello? Yeah. Paki-unmute na lang ha, para hindi na ako magbubukas ng chat. Okay, yes.
200 pesos.
Yeah, 200 or 200,000. You're correct, no? Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Sophia. 200. Sana iba din nagpa-participate, guys, ha? 200, no? You're correct. 200, guys, yung ano, yung difference, no? Nag-increase pa, nag-decrease?
Increase.
Nag-increase, correct. An increase of 200. Okay, saan siya papasok? Will it fall under operating, investing, or financing? What do you think, guys? Kasi kailangan mapasok natin siya, no? Kung operating ba yan, o investing ba yan, o financing ba yan. Bakit natin, guys, dapat maipasok kung operating, investing, financing? Kasi yung formal statement of cash flows, naka-itemize yan. Okay. Pag nagawa natin to correctly, madali na, guys, yung formal statement of cash flows. In fact, andito na nga yun eh. Oh. Okay. Sinulat ko na dito para may guide na tayo, ano? Statement of cash flows for the year ended 2020. Yan. Okay. So, saan siya papasok, guys? Yung 200 dito? Operating, investing, financing. Definitely, guys, hindi siya papasok sa operating. Kasi, hindi naman ng operations ang may hawak niyan eh. Sino sa tingin yung may hawak ng ano? Ng pag i-invest sa short term? Yung treasury bills, for example, commercial papers. Sino may hawak niyan? Investing ba yan o financing? It will fall under, okay? Ang general rule, guys, kung interest-bearing, financing yan. Interest-bearing ba? May interest ba yung short-term investments? Yeah, sorry, Kendrick, tama. Kendrick, you're correct. It's part of financing, no? Okay, so dito natin ilalagay yan. Okay, ano lang natin, itatapat natin dito, no? Okay, question. Is it a source of cash or a use of cash? Kasi kung source of cash, guys, plus positive ang ilalagay natin dyan, no? Kung use of cash, negative.
Source po ata.
Source, okay. Source of cash, no? So, dapat positive, di ba? Tama?
Yes po.
Okay, so it should be positive 200, tama?
Yes.
Okay, so ang formula natin is this minus this, no? Okay, tama, guys? It should be positive, di ba? Question? Walang reaction?
Use of cash po.
Use of cash. So, pag use of cash ba? Hindi. Ang source of cash, ano, positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. So, dapat, sorry, mali ako, Okay, delete ko to. Sorry, So, it should be what? Should be?
3,800.
Okay, 3,800 minus 3,600, right?
Opo.
Guys, paki-chat naman kung clear sa inyo. Everyone, please, paki-chat kung clear yon. 3,800 minus 3,600. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's good. Okay, so sige. So ilalagay ko dito 3,800 minus 3,600. Okay? Alright, any questions? So punta na tayo sa accounts receivable. Hello? Parang tahimik nyo. May question ba?
None po.
So tama ito, no? Ay, ba't ba negative? Sorry. Parang lobot ako ngayon ah. Is equal to what, guys? Is equal to?
3,800.
Okay, 3,800 minus?
600.
Okay, tama.
3,000. Sir, now,
Sir, balik.
Ay,
Sir,
ano
balik
ba
na po.
yan? Bob, ano ka ba? Ano ba? Ay, sus, grabe. Sorry. Okay. Alright?
Sir, click the
Sir, balik na
2020.
po, sir. Yung 3,800 po muna.
Ganun? O, sige. Okay. Inuna ko yung 3,800, ano?
sir,
Okay.
minus.
Ay, ba't Guys, alam mo, kahit anong gawin ko, ayaw pa rin na Excel.
Sir, may
Hindi po,
negative po yata.
May negative. Diba?
Hindi, sir. Una po yung 3,000.
Una yung 3,800, no?
Po.
Okay, una yung 3,800, tapos,
Minus po.
okay, yan. Tama?
Sir, may negative po kasi doon sa 3.8 niyo po, sir. Sa formula bar po, ayun, equals negative.
nga, no. Grabe naman! Ano ba yan? Ayan. Okay, tama na yan, no?
Sir, yung 3.8 po ulit yung unahin niyo, sir.
Okay. O nga, no. Okay, sandali, Pero guys, kanina ko pa ginagawa, ayaw niya eh.
Hindi, may negative po kasi. May nalalagay po kayong negative bago niyo po pindutin yung 3.8.
Talaga? So, dapat
Yes, sir.
lalagyan ko ng negative. Yan.
Hindi po. Pindutin niyo lang po, sir. Equals, tapos...
Ang kulit ko, no?
May lumalabas na equal, sir.
Okay.
May lumalabas po kasing minus bago niyo po pindutin yung 3.8, sir.
Sino to?
Kaya nagiging negative po siya.
Sino to? Si Carl?
Yes, po, sir.
Sorry, Carl. Nagagalit na tuloy si Carl sa akin eh.
Hindi po, sir. Kailangan nakita na ganyan.
Carl, ang problema ko, ayaw ni Excel eh. Pinupunta ko si dito na mo, Ayaw niya pumasok dito,
Sige, sir. Pindutin niyo po 3.8 muna, sir.
Ayaw eh. Ba't kaya? Nakikita
Sir.
niyo yung mouse ko?
Yes po, sir.
Ayaw niya pumasok, kaya napipilitan ako dito. Ganito talaga, no? Paano yun? Sa inyo ba nagagawa nyo?
Yes, sir, nagagawa naman po. Pwede naman, sir, type nyo na lang po, yung G28.
Okay, wala ba kayo na sense, guys? Ba't kaya ayaw? Kasi guys, mali yung answer natin. Kaya ayaw niya. Okay, explain ko Okay. Anong ibig sabihin guys na may short-term investment tayo? Kunyari, T-bills guys. Para magka-T-bills tayo, anong gagawin natin? Sige nga, explain nyo sa akin. Hello guys. Para tayo magka-T-bills, anong gagawin natin? Kunyari, pumunta tayo sa bangko. Okay? Tapos, mag-i-invest tayo doon. Ano mangyayari? Bibigyan pa tayo ng pera o maglalabas tayo ng pera?
Lalabas.
Maglalabas tayo ng pera, guys. Di ba? Okay, noong 2019, ang T-bills natin, 3,600. Noong 2020, naging 3,800 siya. Ano nangyari? Tumaas yung
Gastos.
Yes! Naglabas tayo, guys, ng 200 more. Right?
Yes po.
O kaya, source of cash or use of cash? Use of cash. Ang napaka-loyal na Excel sa akin, ayaw niya talaga kanina eh. Napansin nyo guys, pinapasok ko na talaga sa 3.8 minus 3.6, ayaw niya. Na-notice yun guys?
Yes po.
May magic tong Excel ko eh. Gets guys, gets? Pause muna ako. Clear ba guys? Clear?
Yes po.
Okay, yung iba, paki-chat naman kung hindi kayo nakakapag Ayan. Thank you, Carl yan lang gusto ko kay Carl. Talagang inaaway ako kanina eh. Thank you, Carl. Ito sa good Good. Pero guys, okay, clear yan guys na yung intindihan natin yung galaw. Short-term investments, ibig sabihin naglabas tayo ng pera. Dati 3.6 lang yan. Tapos naging 3.8 na yung short-term investment natin. Ibig sabihin, nagdagdag pa tayo ng investment doon. Naglabas pa tayo ng additional na 200. Okay? So it will fall under financing kasi it's interest bearing. Okay, and also it's a use of cash kaya negative 200 siya. Okay. All right, clear tayo ha. Next guys, we go down the balance sheet accounts receivable from 270 naging 283,500. Okay, unang-una saan papasok to? Accounts receivable. Operating, investing, financing. Saan siya papasok? Operating, investing, financing.
Operating?
Yes, correct, no? Correct. Operating 'yan, no? AR 'yan eh, 'di ba? It's born out of sales. No? So dito siya papasok sa operating. Okay. Operating. Dati 270 naging 283,500. Okay. Ibig sabihin nun guys, nag-increase yung benta natin, 'di ba? Correct? Hello?
Yes po.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Kendrick. No? Sabi ni Kendrick, operating. Alright. So, operating siya. Magkano in-increase ni AR? Magkano in-increase ng sales natin?
$13,500, sir.
Okay. Question. After malaman natin kung operating, investing, financing, dapat masagot natin, ano ba to? Source of cash or use of cash? Remember, pag source of cash siya, plus. Pag use of cash, minus. Nakabenta. So,
Source?
source of
Source.
cash. Okay? So, positive, negative?
Positive.
Positive. Okay. Thank you. No? So, that's 283,500 minus 270. Right, guys?
Yes po.
Okay. Ano itong mouse na to? Guys, can you see my mouse?
Yes po.
Ayaw. Saan ba yan?
Sir, try niyo po
Try ko to, no?
shift
Shift.
equals tas shift tapos arrow niyo po.
Equal shift. Tapos, sige, subukan ko yun, ha? Kakaproblema yung mouse ko, eh. Okay. Shift.
Equal
tas
po
arrow.
tapos shift.
Shift tas equal to.
Equal
Shift
po muna.
equal to, no? Tapos,
hold niyo po yung shift.
shift. Okay.
And then yung arrows.
Ayaw, eh.
Oh.
Sir, is it use of cash ba?
Sino to?
This is Marco, sir.
Marco! Grabe ka, Marco. Bakit Marco use of cash? Akala ko source of cash yan.
Because, sir, it's negative when you put it in.
Bakit? Bakit use of cash?
Wait lang.
Sige, analyze natin guys, no? Yung Excel ko guys, magic tong Excel ko eh. Pag alam nyo mali yung answer, hindi niya tinatanggap. Ganyan ba yung Excel nyo? Guys, naniniwala ba kasi sinasabi ko? Yung may magic yung Excel ko?
Hindi ko alam kung dapat po maniwala ako.
Sorry guys ha. Baka sinasabi yung pinagtitripan ko kayo. Pero seriously guys, it's a use of cash. Tama si Marco, it's a use of cash. Bakit? Bakit siya naging use of cash? Eh di ba nakabenta tayo?
Kasi hindi pa po siya nako-collect, sir.
Yun. Tama. It's receivables guys. It's a sales on account. Eh di ba guys, yung binenta natin, ginamitan natin ng pera yon. Kung ano man yan. Kunyari, raw material. Binili natin yung raw material. Tapos, pinoses. Sineldohan yung mga empleyado. Etc. So, binenta. Pero hindi pa nakukolek. Okay? So, we have sales, but it's on account. Hindi pa natin nakukolek. So, it's a net use of cash. Clear guys? Clear?
Clear po.
Okay. Clear ha? Clear ha? O yung iba, hindi sumasagot. Clear ba so far guys? yung AR natin tumaas.
Yes, sir.
Yan. Okay. So we might be tempted to say, ay, nakabenta. Pero, Marco, was that you who answered a while ago? Yung hindi pa nako-collect?
Yes.
Thank you, Marco. Sabi ni
Ay,
Marco.
no. That was Carl, yung hindi pa na-collect.
Carl. Oh, sige. Thank you, Carl. Thank you. So, tama si Carl. Sabi, hindi pa na-collect eh. Diba? Ginastusan na natin ng ano yan, ng yung raw material o kung merchandise man, binili na natin finished goods. Rinipack natin, binayaran natin sweldo ng mga tao, tapos binenta natin, hindi pa nako-collect. Oh, ang ganda ng question dito ni Syra. Oh. Paano po ba mag-install ng Magic sa Excel? Sige, tuturuan ko kayo next meeting. Kung paano mag-install ng Magic program sa Excel para hindi siya pupunta pag nababasa niya pag mali yung pupuntahan mong cell, no? All right. Okay, so okay na tayo dito, no? Next, inventory. Saan yan? Operating, investing, financing. Operating, investing, financing, guys. Inventories, ha? Saan ba ginagamit yung inventories?
Operating po, sir.
Yes, correct. Operating. Alright, ito na naman tayo. From 135, naging 141. It increase or decrease?
Increase.
Increase, no? 6,750. Question, use of cash or source of cash?
Use of cash.
Bakit?
Sir, tumaas because we invested more sa inventories. So it's
Bumili, di ba? Tama. Diba? Napaka-practical, di ba? Inventory natin nung 2019, 135. At the end of 2020, naging 141. Saan ang galing yun? Hindi naman binigay sa atin yun. No? So, bumili tayo ng inventory. So, you're correct. It's operating and then it should be a use of cash. Yan. So, this minus this. Okay, you're getting it, guys. Yan na. Okay. Any questions so far?
None, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay, we go down the line, guys. So okay na tayo sa total sa current assets, ano? Net fixed assets. Okay. Ito. 2019 yung fixed assets natin, net fixed assets 315. Tapos 2020 33750. Okay. Saan papasok to? Operating, investing, financing. Where will this fall under?
Fixed. Investing.
You're correct. Investing, no? Okay, balik ka naman sa question ko. Source of cash or use of cash? Use of cash. Oo, tama. Kasi 315 tapos naging 330. Diba? Gumamit tayo ng cash para mag-increase yung net fixed assets natin. So this will be, since it's a use of cash, so dapat negative. 315 minus 336,750. Yan. Okay? All right. The plot is thickening. Okay? We're getting there. Okay? Para hindi natin matatapos to. No? So we will continue with this next meeting. So next meeting, so magkakaroon tayo ng activity as promised. Sorry, hindi natin nagawa ngayon yun. Activity tayo next meeting. Tapos, and then we'll continue with this. Hopefully next meeting matapos natin to, itong lahat ng to. And then we go on to another exercise Excel, no? Another workbook, no? Para tuloy-tuloy yung natin, enhancement ng skills natin sa FS analysis. And then after that, guys, siguro by next week, matatapos na natin yung, by Monday, matatapos na natin yung yung FS analysis. Then Wednesday, we'll have our first quiz. Covering Module 1 and Module 2. Tentative natin yun. Okay, so we're done with the asset side. Siyempre guys, yung total assets, hindi na natin sinasama yan kasi cumulative lang naman yan. Ang tinitingnan natin yung mga main components. Alright, let's go to liabilities and equity. Okay, accounts payable, 90, 94, 500. Operating, investing, financing. So, ano nga natin dito? Fix natin freeze pane ko. Yan. Okay. Accounts payable, guys, from 90, naging 94,500. So where will it fall under? Operating, investing, financing. accounts payable. Saan ba na-generate yan? Di ba? Pagbili ng supplies on account, di ba? So, saan yan?
Operating.
Yes, correct. Obviously, it's operating. Okay, 90, tapos naging 94,500. Source of cash, use of cash.
Use.
Kanina pag tumaas, use, no? Di ba? Pag tumataas, nag-use, di ba? Right?
Ata.
May mga ata. Sino to? Si Syra?
Apo.
Thank you, Syra. Pero napaka-safe mo, ha? Ata. Okay, it's a use of cash, no? So, dapat negative siya, di ba? Equal to ano ba dapat to, guys?
Sir, source of cash po.
Kayo, alam nyo na, ha? Alam nyo na yung gimmick ko, ha? Okay. O, bakit sa source of cash? Bakit sa source of cash?
Sir, kasi
guys?
hindi pa, we haven't paid the ano yun.
Yun. Okay, di ba? Bumili tayo ng raw material, kunyari. Okay, on account, utang, di ba? Asan na yung pera? Nabigay na ba natin sa supplier? Guys?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. It's still with us, no? Nasa kamay pa natin yung cash. So, in a sense, guys, source of cash yan. Okay? So, I hope it's clear, guys. No? Hindi pa natin nabayaran yan. Tumaas yung payables natin. Okay, next. Accruals, guys. Remember, accruals, expenses yan na already incurred but not yet paid, no? Accruals from 45 naging 47,250. Saan yan? Operating, investing, financing.
Operating.
Operating. Okay, source of cash, use of cash.
Source.
Source of cash. Yan, tama. Expense yan. Incurred na natin, nagastos na natin, nagamit na natin, pero hindi pa natin nabayaran. Okay? So, kunyari, yung kuryente, nagamit na yung kuryente, hindi pa nabayaran si Meralco. Bababayaran lang after ma-receive natin yung bill. No? So, it's 45, source of cash, 47 minus 45. Source of cash. Yeah. Notes payable, guys. Notes payable. From 9,000, naging 26,262. Okay? Operating, investing, financing.
Operating.
Operating, kaso notes yan, no? Parang, I promise to pay this amount, ganyan at 10% interest.
Financing.
Financing. Okay, correct. Thank you. Thank you. You got it, no? Financing, kasi interest bearing yan. So, papasok. Tandaan nyo guys, ha? Magkaiba yung accounts payable sa notes payable. Ang accounts payable usually, parang extension na, parang, parang trade, hindi, parang pinapadelay ng supplier yung payment, no? Pinapayagan niya. Pero usually walang financing charge. Itong may financing charge to. So this will fall under financing and then source of cash, use of cash. Guys, source of cash, use of cash. Obviously, it's a
Sorry.
ano ba? Uses. It's a source of cash. Oo, source siya kasi lumaki yung utang natin, no? From 9,000 again 26. Okay, so that's this minus this. All right. So magta-time na. Let's just see how far we can go here. Okay, next guys. So hindi yung kasama yung total current liabilities. Long-term debt, guys. Saan to? May interest ba yung long-term debt?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So under what siya?
Financing.
Financing. Source of cash, use of cash.
Source.
Yan. Okay. You're getting the hang of it, guys, no? Source siya. Okay? Kasi nandagdagan yung utang. Alright. Total liabilities, ignore. Common stock, guys. Okay, ito walang change, no? Walang new shares issued. Okay, but if there was a change here, saan siya papasok? Should be part of common stock, should be part of investing, no? Dito papasok yan, okay? So, since wala naman siyang change, lagyan na lang natin, okay? Pero parang ano yan guys, parang long-term debt din. Pag nag-increase yung common stock, so dapat source of cash din yan. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-increase yung common stock, may mga bagong investor, may mga bagong nag-put in ng pera nila sa company. Alright, retained earnings guys?
Sir, investing po yung common stock.
No. Common stock, andito, linagay ko. Financing siya. Financing. Okay, retained earnings guys, hindi papasok to kasi kasama niyan sa net income, no? Dito nang galing yan. Kasama niyan kasi incorporated na yung net income after tax natin. Di ba yung retained earnings, galing yan sa net income after tax. So we don't include that, otherwise magdo-double counting tayo. Alright. So we're done guys, we're done. Tapos na tayo. O tama-tama, may 2 minutes pa tayo. So i-add na natin to. Yung totals natin is equal to sum ng operating. Okay. 72838. Ito lahat ng sum, source of cash ng operating. Bakit source of cash? Kasi positive, no? Copy to the right. Okay, pause muna ako. Did you get this, guys? We'll end here, no? Did you get this? 72838 negative 15,750. Ibig sabihin, use of cash sa investing, source of cash sa financing. Did you get that, guys?
Yes po.
Okay, ano yung net niya? I-add natin, guys. Ano yung net? Net is
78,000.
okay, 78,650. Houston, we have a problem. Bakit? It does not agree with 2250. Dapat, guys, pag inad natin sa operating, investing, financing, dapat 2250 yan. So pag hindi 2250, ibig sabihin, we have a mistake. Or we need to adjust some more things. Okay? So that will be our lesson, guys, for next meeting. Okay, we will finalize this statement of cash flows, and then we will do the statement of retained earnings, and then we will compute this. May I request you to do some advanced reading on net operating working capital, total of net operating capital, itong mga measurements dito sa baba, no? Kasi that will be our subject for next meeting. Okay? Did you learn something today, guys? Paki-chat naman kung may natutunan kayo. Meron ba? Okay. Thank you, Kendrick. Diba? Yan. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you. Yan. Sunod-sunod na. Salamat, guys, ha. Salamat. Do you want me to send this, this file? Yung at least yung natapos natin. Sige, no? I-save ko to for our section and then I'll post it later after my second class. All right. So I'll stop recording.